had me doing moonsaults off the top rope.
Oh my
God.
God.
I have implants.
I feel like I know him from somewhere. Why?
Why not?
I mean, I thought about it for a long while before I did it. I mean, I got a lot of uproar from the whole industry, but who are they to judge me?
Yeah, I mean, what are they?
They can all go to hell. They don't pay my bills.
No, you got a point.
And that's that.
Welcome to a brand new Monday for Off the Rails. And I'm sorry today, this is not streaming on Facebook for some reason. I don't know why. And now we're also having issues with Instagram. But thanks so much for joining us. I know some of you are already in the chat room. I see 16 so far. But yeah, today's special guest is an old friend of mine who actually I met years ago, and probably a lot of you know him because of his family and stuff like that. It's Pablo Escobar Jr. And I know a lot of people are like guessing the legitimacy of my guest, but it's actually a legit person. It's so funny because there was like some indie wrestler going around with the last name Escobar, which I thought was pretty, low. Hi, Jamal. Hi, Paul. Hi, Captain Caveman. Hey, Scott. And I've been speaking to more guests actually as we're like getting through these next few episodes. A few guests from the past and a few guests from the present and everything. So it's been wild, like catching up with a lot of people. So I don't know what's going on with Facebook today. So let's see. I'm just chatting with Pablo Escobar now. Pablo Escobar Jr. So we reconnected on Facebook years later after he had some kind of a clothing line and I was a model at his show, which was a lot of fun. Hi, Ian. How are you today? Anyone else joining in right now? So I don't know. What else is there? Okay. It's been, I think the weather is finally getting warm in California. I'm not sure, but nonetheless, Pablo is just going to be stepping in here soon. I believe he's out doing some kind of errands. So he's going to download the Chrome app. What's going on with everyone this Monday? How is Monday so far by everyone? Do we have any plans this week? Any extraordinary plans that are happening or anything like that? And most of all, if anyone knows how to like do this thing where we connect Facebook to StreamYard, I don't know what's going on and why it's doing this to me, but it's really just it's really become an extremely inconvenient thing because it now won't let people do that. I don't know what's going on. So hopefully we get this thing fixed because there are a lot of people that do this on Facebook, that do look at this on Facebook and on Instagram. So I don't know. Paul's there. Hi, Paul. What's going on? You're seeing Angel and Christina. That's good. That's good. So there's a lot of indie wrestling shows going on this upcoming weekend or next weekend. We have H2O New Jersey, which is Hustle Organization. And then on the 22nd, there's Chicago Juggalo Championship Wrestling. And also, what else is there on Monday? X Brand Wrestling earlier in the day. It's a couple of earlier matinee shows on a Sunday. That's true. I think everyone's having a crazy Monday. I don't know if it's the moon, if we even believe in things like that happen, with the moon being a part of it. Let's see. So my guest is here. He's going to be entering the studio. So I don't think he'll be having his video on, but I can confirm the legitimacy of the guest because I've known him for many years. And also you guys know that I try to bring you very interesting guests if I can. Let's see what's going on. I cannot see him for some reason. Okay, there's just some technical glitches right now that we're going through with this, unfortunately. And I don't know if it's a StreamYard thing, because StreamYard is just not the most, it's not a fun thing anymore. I don't know if that makes sense. Let's see. I'm just texting this. There we go. Okay, there we go. So yeah. What else, everyone? What else is going on in everyone's Monday? It is a manic Monday, and I know that it's a lot of people getting started up with their summers, a lot of people traveling this year. Um, I'm extremely excited about the summer because there's a lot of really cool stuff coming up, including Championship Extreme Wrestling over in the UK and Bleeding Gums Wrestling over in Scotland. So I'm really, really happy about that. Let's see. So Pablo Escobar Jr. will be joining us very soon. Oh, there he is. Okay. So, let's whip out those questions on the Escobar, the Escobars and everything like that. And let's just see what he's got to say because he's usually the man of a million words and then some. Hey, Pablo, how are you?
Hola, ¿cómo está?
Good, bien, gracias. So, what is up with your camera?
My camera, I'm shopping right now at the supermarket. So, and you know what I'm saying? That's what's up. So, I was hoping you could use the logo like I did on the
Yeah,
last.
I'm not that good at getting your logo up there, believe it or not. But it's okay. People kind of know who you are and what you look like because I've already posted photos. Plus, they've seen you around. Thanks for taking the time today to hop on
Yes, no,
board here with me.
I'm actually doing shopping right now for my daughter and myself. So, don't worry about it. Go ahead.
What are you buying?
I'm actually buying right now Edam's mini muffins. Then I'm mixing McCormick meatloaf seasoning mix to cook. Then I'm getting some granola bars and milk and mini juices. So a whole bunch of different things. So go ahead.
Wait, what Entenmann's? Because like the best Entenmann's out there is that
The five
devil. What
pack
is it?
chocolate chip mini muffins and then the crumb cakes.
No, 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 no. Oh, those are good. Those are old school. But it's
Yeah.
also really good. Like those marshmallow ice devil food cakes. Those are amazing.
Yes, those are really good, but they don't have them here. So
They don't have them. Oh, what is it like that? I don't know what it is with those. If those are
I
like,
mean, Queens
yeah.
Market in Cresco, so they don't really have a lot of stuff. That's they just have like really King's Market is really expensive out here in this Cresco area, so they have things, but they don't have like everything in stock because I guess I don't know people stock up real quick. So today
But
they don't have
dude,
that.
it's marshmallow ice devil's food cake. Like they can't. Who else would stock up on that except me? You know.
Well, Jasmine, I guess over here, there may be people already close to you because they're out. They only have the donuts, the assorted frosted that I'm looking at right now, the classics, they have the marshmallow devil's food. Okay, maybe they do have it, but it's different package. So devil's food, yeah, they have the ice cake here.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Woo! So yeah, I have friends in here saying hi. My friend Jamal and Joe Beasler just joined us. He I got a question for you, Pablo, because this has like dawned on me a few times. I know that a lot of people, and yes, the legitimacy of the guest is real. It's a friend of mine, and he's just out shopping because he's a normal human being sometimes when he's not being a warrior for Jesus. Um, Let me ask you this, bro. Like, so what? Here's some low rent indie wrestler going around, right? Using the last name Escobar. What are your thoughts on that when people do shit like that?
You should take me to one of the events where he's at, so I could like pile drive him.
He might like it though.
I
Um,
know that. I'm
he
saying
might
though,
be.
but I mean, like I said, in a way, I take it like, a compliment because it's like they're complimenting and taking like Nas. I met Nas Escobar many years ago, the rapper, and you know what I'm saying. He was like, "Oh man, I've been using the name." You know what I'm saying? Obviously, he was Nas Escobar, so he was using the name for a long time. And he told me he was like it was basically giving my father props. So that's how I look at it. I don't really take offense to it unless they're trying to do some fucked up shit like the rapper French Montana, who was trying to come out with his own clothing line of Coke Boys, some bullshit ass clothing line, and he used my father's image to try to sell T-shirts on it because without it, his brand sucked. And he's one of P Diddy's bitch Diddy's artists, and they don't really like me. So basically, like yeah, like they a lot of people they will use the name and they won't they'll try to profit off of it, and that's where I have a problem if they're trying to make money without my authorization because it's not, we don't. I'm not going to authorize, people to go that far. But yeah, like I said, and when it's something just like getting a name to wrestle or whatever, I don't really have an issue with it. So
It's funny. Yeah, no,
I
this
will let
guy,
him
I
slide.
just like messing with him. I like messing with him and making him think that that you want to pile drive him on. He might like I said, he might be jacking off for days over that. Um, so here we go. So I met Pablo years ago, guys, when he had a clothing line and I was in his fashion show in New York City. So let's talk about like your endeavor. Let's talk about your clothing line first of all and what brought that about.
Well, before it was called Connected and Respected. And the reason I had named it like that was obviously I was connected and I'm respected. And the thing is, I didn't even. That was the old line that I had. The new one is just with the image that I have on my ex account and that I've been promoting for years. So that's just a different style. Like now, I'm actually using my father's legacy to do the clothing line. So, but yeah, before it was just connected and respected because that's how it's always been everywhere I go. I've always had the good connects and respected. Well, you either respect me or you fear me, one of those. So I think it's better to respect me so that way you don't have to fear me.
Yeah, that's true. I think it's funny because in the movie Scarface, you remember Scarface, right? Oh, every day's on.
Yes.
There's this one part of the movie that I love. It's got Al, Al it's got oh god, it's got Al Pacino and not Al Pacino. My God, I'm so sorry. I'm like so out of it today. Scarface.
Yeah, Al Pacino.
Yeah, Al Pacino.
You're
And
not.
then
You're right.
it was him, and then he had his little cohort who was really cute at the time. They're walking in the streets, right? And then they see all the girls out by the beach. They see all the girls with their little bikinis on. And, one of them said together, man, why don't you have a clothing brand? Then you could have like your name on girls' asses.
Exactly. So that's why it's not a bad idea to come out with with a clothing line with my logo on bikinis or different kind of things because that's actually cool for girls to be wearing your brand on their bikinis and different lingerie. So yeah, my ideas don't just end at t-shirts.
Yeah. T-shirts right across the boobs, bikinis. I'm like all for it. I think
Yeah,
it's a
hell
great
yeah. Well,
idea.
I'm saying it looks nice when they have it on and it looks good when I take it off. So fuck yeah.
Well, wait, we could go back to like the 80s and 90s when they had those little Playboy, like those little Playboy bunnies at the tanning salon you'd put on, then you tan around it, right? So we could have
Jasmine,
like,
you're giving me ideas, so I hope you're going to be able to, be putting on these things in front of me because I really want to look, forward to taking them off as well.
well, no, you got to do this one, like a little Escobar face, like that you put on your body at the tanning salon, then you tan around it, then you have like an Escobar imprint or something, right?
Exactly.
I
See,
see.
Jasmine, you got the good ideas.
Now, let me ask you this. So, I know that we reconnected on Twitter under like Twitter Spaces, more so than ever as of late. Tell us why you call yourself a warrior for Jesus.
Well, I was living a life of crime before my daughter was born. She's 20 years old. So before that, I was going around from New York to California robbing drug dealers for a living. Like I never really had to hold a gun myself, but I would go around with people who would literally at gunpoint up like coke big time coke dealers and people who like what I'm saying were involved in that industry and we would just rob them and I would walk in and they would know who I am and obviously they're not gonna fucking come after me. So um, we gave them an ultimatum: plata o plomo, like my father used to say, one silver or lead. So they had no choice but to give up the shit. So, like I said, I was doing a lot of fucked up shit using my father's name for bad things. And it almost led me to serve a long, long ass sentence in LA County Jail, which that jail is not really nice, fucked up jail. So I was gonna do a long ass sentence in there, and in jail, I got to think, and I got an opportunity to speak to God Himself, Jesus, and repent. And I made a deal with him. I said, all right, homie, if you're for real, I'm about to do, I'm about to do 18 years. I mean, well, yeah, in jail. So I was like, if you manage to get me out of here and I don't serve a day more, I'll dedicate serving my entire life to you. I'll commit myself to you. And that's what he did. Like, I eventually ended up getting beat up in jail that day that I made that deal by MS-13s. They didn't know who I was. They were just like mad because I was hanging out around black people, like the Bloods and Crips. Because when I got into jail, I didn't like that whole fucking MS-13 clique. That because you're Latino, you gotta hang out with fucking MS-13. You know, these dudes. And I was like, I didn't want to be around these dudes. So I was like, the black people, they told me, they were like, well, if you're gonna be with us, and mind you, I already had that art tattooed on my head with Rough Riders. That was the label that was gonna sign me. So I was like, well, they saw that, and then they saw me also. A lot of people remember seeing me on the Osborne show. So they were like, listen, bro, if we know they're the blacks, for like, if you were gonna hang out with us, you know what I'm saying, you gotta stick with us. So I stuck with them for like, they're in jail. The Bloods and Crips are together because of so many Mexican gangs. So eventually, after a while, after a few months passed by, you know what I'm saying, the Mexicans that day, particular day, they had planned already to fuck me up in jail. So that night they beat the shit out of me, and I woke up 2 weeks later in a hospital bed from a coma. And that's when I was in my own cell. I had the, um, the New Living Translation, and I read it, and I read about this dude named Jesus who does the impossible. I told him, get me the fuck out of here. I have court tomorrow, and I made a deal with him. I said, listen, if you get me the fuck out of here, so I can be productive and not rot in jail, I'll serve my whole life to you, even like unperfectly, because I like to smoke weed. I told him I may want to smoke weed, I may want to but like just get me out of here and I'll dedicate my whole life to you. And I literally went to the judge, and then he looked at my file. And he said, "Oh, you're the guy who got beat up. You almost died in here." And so he was, anyway, your charges were dropped, so you're free to go. I was like, what? Like, yo, like he literally, and this is the short version of my testimony. So my testimony is actually longer, but yeah, I had made that shit would just like really made me realize, yo, this fucking dude Jesus is for real. Like, trying to make a deal with the devil got me in here, and then making a deal with Jesus, getting me the hell out of here. So fuck this. I'm gonna devote my life to serving Jesus. So that's what I've done. Like, I always tell people, oh yeah, my father, remember who my father is. But now I say, my father, what I'm saying, was not no God. And this is why I serve Jesus, because Jesus is the actual person, the actual reason why I'm alive. So that's why I call myself a gangster for Jesus, because you're not gonna hear me talk like, and most Christians do, like, what I'm saying, or see me do, like, conduct myself like most Christians do. Like, I'm a different type of Christian, and that's why, what I'm saying, I'm a gangster for Jesus.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to go, is being a gangster for Jesus, 100%. Um, and then obviously, you and I got to these long political talks,
Every single
here and there when I get crazy and like unhinged when it came to certain topics and so forth. Actually, Joe Beasler, you were actually at a show that Pablo Escobar was at. I just keep these things very much on the D-low. So how long were you actually in jail then?
what happened?
Well, how long were you actually locked up for at that point?
Oh shit, I was already going on my, what, like, year and a half. I think, yeah,
Mhm.
it was like a year and a half, and I didn't want to be in there any other moment. So I was getting to a point where this is why I was getting suicidal, because knowing that I was going to serve 15 years, but that was the minimum. So knowing that I was going to serve all that time, I realized this is it. My life is ended. Like, I'm not going to do anything productive in 15 years. Fuck, because I might as well kill myself. And when you're in a corner like that, when you're just thinking suicide, you're getting desperate. And I saw the Bible there for months, for months, and I kept ignoring it because I was like, "Fuck God, fuck Jesus, this is stupid shit." And they just kept like telling me, read it." Like my instinct just said, "Fuck it, read it." And might as well. I read other books over there, and I read it, and that's when I came to that, you know, to making a deal with him. I said, "Fuck it," you know what I'm saying? If this is for real, get me the fuck out of here, and that's it. I realized it was true, and it was amazing. So that's what I've been doing since then.
Okay, and I know we had this talk earlier about Freeway Rick Ross, and not the rapper Rick Ross, just Freeway Rick Ross, the actual
Yeah,
the guy's son. We brought
exactly.
up very important, something really important. A friend of mine is a crime researcher and historian, and we were discussing once, cocaine. We touched lightly on that, but with the crack cocaine that came into California, do you think it was targeted? We were targeted by the government at that point. Do you think they were specifically targeting the urban community?
Hell yeah, to have them under their control because they a patient cured is money that they don't need, they won't make. So they keep people sick. They're gonna have people depending on them. So of course the crack epidemic, started then that was not just brought to LA, California. It was also brought to you know New York, in different places, Chicago, to keep the people hooked on their product, because the way they make money is that they would have, like people like Freeway sell drugs for them, and then they would, collect the benefits of it as well too.
Yeah. Just don't do them if
So
you're
yeah,
dealing them.
it was definitely aimed to keep people, and to make the, the communities look the way that they look now and shit all fucked up. We got ghettos and shit. It was because of that.
Yeah. It's really sad, what you see going on. And then also now we have another thing that we're dealing with. I was just watching TV a little while ago before I hopped on the other show with you. Um, so I don't know, like, what your thoughts are on this. And we don't always talk politics on here, but it's been getting there lately, and I think it's because of the temperature of things that are going on in the world, right? So we're not we're not gay phobes or whatever, trans, whatever you guys want to call it. But it's like I watch this thing on TV. There's some trans person that goes up shooting people, right? And, I feel as though the government giving kids like puberty blockers and wanting to take the parental rights away from the parents is another way to get mind control and brainwash kids. Like, what are your thoughts on that?
Three, of course, because they keep these kids, in excuse me. Sure, you can get the rest of the stuff.
He's paying for stuff.
So no, they're actually helping me bag the groceries now. I've been doing, this is how gangster this shit is. Like, I've been actually doing the grocery shopping while I'm talking to you. Now I'm bagging up the stuff. So, but yeah, that of course, I feel they need to take the innocence of these kids away, but making them think that this shit is normal. Because, but this is a big plan that they've had for years to bring in their candidates that they want for president, like Mike Obama. So this is all, this agenda has been planned by the globalists for many years, and they haven't been able to succeed. Now that they saw the opportunity by having the Biden administration in control, they figured out that, okay, now we can actually implement our plan and sexualize all these children, and get them all fucked up, and depending on what we teach them. Thank you. I think it's paid for already. Yeah, I paid for it already. So thank you. So yeah, it's definitely they definitely had a plan for this to keep them like that, and make them think that all. Thank you. Have a blessed night. So I think, see, this is really yeah, I'm fucking shopping. But that's what I'm saying though. People even around here, they know me, like they know that they're able to get close to me, and you know what I'm saying. But kids, I pay $1. I pay kids $1 per gay flag that they bring me around this area. Like I had this pizzeria, and they're all excited. They see me, Pablo, come here. We got another one. Where's my pizza? Where's my drink? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, because I told them, I was like, they started coming to the fucking pizzeria I was chilling at. Oh, Pablo, buy me a drink, buy me this. And I was doing it in the beginning. But then it's
Uh-huh.
like, no, like, I'm like, no, 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 fuck, because I'm gonna teach them how to hustle. So I was like, okay, listen, you want me to buy you stuff or give you some money? I was like, bring me a fucking faggot flag. I would tell them that straight up like that. I was like, bring me a faggot flag. Every time you see one, I'll pay you $1 for them. And the thing is, the reason I speak to them like that, and the reason I'm doing this is because if they're attacking them already on Instagram and Instagram and all these fucking places and TikTok, sexualizing them, but thinking that's normal, by putting flags all over the fucking schools, thinking that shit is normal, as parents, we gotta teach them, fuck that. That's not no goody goody pride shit. That's demonic shit. That is straight up fucking demonic shit. And they wanna fucking take your innocence away and sexualize you so they can fuck you or traffic you. So if nobody's telling them the fucking truth, I tell them the truth, but in a way where I'm like, when you see that shit, I was like, don't think that it's some fucking celebrating gay pride shit. That's just to normalize pedophilia. And nobody, their parents ain't teaching them this shit because they're afraid to tell them this. So I tell them this because it's like somebody got to wake them the fuck up. The fact that I do that, the kids love this shit because they finally have somebody, to, what I'm saying, like that's telling them the truth and shit like that without having to bite your tongue or anything. So it's actually been very inspiring in this area because there was when you used to come around Cresco, New Jersey, you would see a whole bunch of like gay pride flags all over the schools in the posts. And now they're like the teachers and I mean the parents started complaining that they don't want that shit around their kids. They don't want all these flags forced, in their classrooms. And now the parents started taking action. And some of these parents didn't even know that all these books to sexualize their children were even being taught in schools. So the fact that I started getting on that, it, this is the generation we gotta inspire. The same generation that they're trying to sexualize. So by us being real with them and you know what I'm saying, and getting them out of their little fucking bubbles, thinking that all this shit is normal. Fuck that, is not normal. These are fucking pedophiles, predators that are coming after you. So the more we prepare them, the younger they are to know the truth, the more they can, what I'm saying, teach their friends, what I'm saying, who they hang out with and shit like that. That's not something to celebrate. That's demonic shit. So it's not normal, and the reason they're doing it is because they want to normalize all this transgender shit. So when Mike Obama launches himself for president, all these kids are like, "Oh shit!" But that's normal because look how many times, what I'm saying, Mike Obama has been on the cover of this magazine or this magazine. So being a transgender is fucking cool. No, it's not fucking cool. It's an abomination and it's fucking disgusting. And that's why we gotta start using those words to shame these motherfuckers like faggots and fucking, put them to shame, make them feel shame so they can crawl back into their fucking corners that they came from, what I'm saying, and not get out of these fucking corners because none of that shit is normal.
Yeah. And I have a lot of friends that are gay and don't, approve of this type of thing. In fact, there was a 12-year-old child waving an American flag. It's on libs of TikTok, I think. And an adult liberal like just went ahead and she started hitting him. She called him a homophobe and a racist because it's an American flag. Now, I thought American flags unite all of us under it, like everyone, no matter what color race you are, whether you're a guy or girl, and whether you're gay or straight. And there's nothing wrong with gay people, by the way. It's just keep it away from young children. Yeah, Bathhouse Barry. I saw, by the way, our favorite prosecutor, Fat Fannie Willis. I think she's off the case now, by the way, Fat Fannie.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, man. Yeah, you're on point with that. Yeah, all these fucking people all fucking support all this pedophilia shit. This is why. Listen, when people hear me talk or see me like teaching these kids, like, oh my god, like they get mad or something. I'm like, yo, you should really get mad at the fact that there are kids, as I'm speaking right now, getting tortured for adrenochrome. You know what I'm saying? So when I speak and I offend people saying faggot or this or that and the fucking third or oh my God, that's so offensive. I say, you know what's offensive? Knowing that there's children being tortured for adrenochrome. So when that shit comes to an end, when kids stop getting tortured for blood, you know what I'm saying? That's how you obtain adrenochrome. You got to torture these kids alive in the state of fear so their adrenaline could be high and it could be, what I'm saying, the better quality. So when that shit stops, then I'm going to stop talking how it's, what I'm saying, that offends you. Oh my God, you said these words. Fuck you. Kids are getting tortured for adrenochrome, so fuck you and your feelings. So that's why I'm saying, like, fuck all that. We gotta send these demons back to the little holes they came from by using what we can. Actually, no violence, of course, but our words, if it offends them, good. It's supposed to offend them. It's supposed to make them feel ridiculed and ashamed to be what they are, because they're not nothing godly. They're an abomination.
Abomination, not a bomb. Abomination. Uh,
Exactly.
yeah, it's interesting because it's like this is it's Pride Month, which is okay, whatever it is, what it is, and they have their parades, but some of the stuff I saw at like these little celebrations, you shouldn't have men and assless chaps sticking around young kids. I don't think it's teaching them to not hate. It's just sticking it in their faces, and it's teaching them, it's traumatizing them to see this stuff. Kids get traumatized when they see their own parents naked. Hey, let me ask you this. Did your dad, when you were younger, obviously, like what was your relationship like with your dad? Like I'm curious about this now, and I'm
Well,
not
he
asking as a
taught me.
psychiatrist either.
He sheltered my brother. He sheltered, first of all, my fat brother. You know what I'm saying? Juan Pablo in Argentina. He grew up like a pussy. Okay, my brother grew up like a little bitch, sheltered away from every crime shit. On the other hand, me, my father brought me around all the criminal activity for a reason, to be able to grow up and not be a pussy like my brother became. So that's why one of the videos that we were just looking at before in the last interview that I did on the Big Mix show, they were
Yeah.
showing the video of Popeye. One of those videos, which is on my timeline, shows Popeye talking shit about my brother because my brother became a little bitch and talking.
I think the deep state got involved. Hello, Pablo.
You're fucking fake too and shit like that. You got so that's a father. The difference between my brother and I is that my father didn't have him um looking at all that criminal activity like he allowed me to see. He sheltered him, you know what I'm saying, so he can, because he was mommy's boy. Out of wedlock, my pops allowed me to be raised by these hitmen. Like I told you in the last story, on the last interview I was just on, I was growing up by Popeye, so he can
Hmm.
take away my fear. So I saw a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? I saw a lot of shit that my brother and many people wouldn't go through, but my father did that so that my mind can be prepared to face, what I'm saying, people like FBI or like, what I'm saying. He knew that all that shit was at some point going to come my way. So he did all these things to try to take away the fear of like people's scare you. Cause yo, you can't scare me with actions. Like words don't scare me or these you don't scare me with fucking threats. You know what I'm saying? You could only kill me once, and that's what my father taught me. So fear doesn't exist if you don't allow it to exist in your life or in your spirit. So I learned the hard way, and I mean being kidnapped by one of the one of the main that if that doesn't take it, and then you realize you're safe eventually. But if that shit didn't take away my fear, then what I'm saying, there was something wrong with me. But yeah, thankfully, I was able, and huge ass Trump flag that's waving right now in the air as I open my windows and enjoy this fucking weather as I'm driving 40 miles an hour, actually 25 miles an hour in this road. But yeah, nah, like I said, everybody knows I'm a huge Trump supporter. I drive around with that gigantic Trump flag. And that's one of the things that have pissed off a lot of liberals around here and people, that there's actually some dude that's ballsy enough to drive around with a Trump flag and doesn't give a fuck who comes at me, because no one's gonna come at me to try to take this shit down. They could try to do this to the average citizen, or started doing it was for that. Because I wanted all those people, all these fucking bitch ass Democrats and liberals and celebrities who are trying to bully Trump supporters. Why don't you come and do it to me? I'm saying, and so far nobody does it to me. I don't know why. I don't know why people don't bully me. Could you fucking explain this shit to me, Jasmine? Why don't
Sure.
people bully me?
Well, let's see. You're a bigger person. You're tall,
That's
first of all. Maybe your last name probably is one of those things.
No, because they're pussies. Because
Okay,
they're
they're pussies.
pussies,
There you
and
go.
that's what, and that's what we gotta, This is why, like, it's rare that I talk to women, but because the way that you are, that you don't give two fucks, and you come from a shot culture, and you like, isn't that you're one of the bravest fucking voices out there for, in the conservative movement these days, like Marjorie Taylor Greene, like, what I'm saying, like women like that, like Lara Logan, like fucking her story is
Yeah.
crazy. She got fucking raped. I mean, the fact that, what I'm saying, there's women out here like them and yourself. That's what inspires me and motivates me. Like, if a woman could fucking be that strong in spirit, why can't the rest of these motherfuckers? Like I said, you got more balls than a lot of these men that I come across, and not in the Michael Obama way.
Yeah, thanks. I just want to make sure, like, that's not. Yeah, that's what he means. Like, not like a like Michael
Yeah.
Obama. Of course not. No. Now you're talking about
100%.
huh?
I know
The
you're
Michael.
100%.
I hope so. Yeah. Um, and so then here's a question for you. So you were talking about the Escobar Museum in Colombia. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, that right now you can go to the EscobarEmpire.com, and it's a website that takes you to a tour. My uncle Roberto Escobar and my cousin Nicolas Escobar organized in Medellin, which basically you land in Medellin, you go to like all the different locations of the, that my father used to have, and they take it to the Hacienda Nápoles, and then at the end they take it to my uncle's museum, so you can meet him and buy his books, because he's a businessman. So he make you buy a book
Yeah.
or you don't get out of there alive. And now then you get to hang out with him. He'll sign autographs and shit like that. So that's what we do now. Like, it's basically just promote. You know what I'm saying? Like the brand, but in a way where it's entertainment and drug shit. We don't associate with anything that has to do with drugs or cocaine or drug dealers or anything illegal. So we keep it legit, and it's a legit business that, but he has it's a tour, and that's it. Like, hang out and take a tour of Medellin and meet my family.
What do you think it is that attracts a lot of people to the underworld and to the, just the danger of society, like, or dangerous things, I should say?
Well, I mean, the fact that it's taboo, like, not only that, like, it actually, it's like you dared, the dared to actually um rise against the fucking government. You know what I'm saying? And this is why a lot of Koreans and a lot of people that I meet, they look up like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, your father is a legend because he stood up to the empire. You know what I mean? Like, he was.
Oh my God. Really?
Thank you.
That's
Yo,
great.
girls chase me to and these fucking girls, pretty girls too, like, chase me. I'm like, what the fuck? And I get this shit every day now. They chase me, like, just to tell me they like my flag and shit. That's what I'm saying. If you're not taking, I think, you know what I'm saying, you might as well take me real.
No, the
Women
Trump
out
flag,
here.
like I told everyone this, like
What is
Trump voters are more attractive than Biden voters um in the female base of it. I'm like, it really, it's the truth.
don't even
What?
fucking and shit still. Not only the female, as a male.
Yeah, well, a lot
I'm
of younger
witnessing. Hello.
females don't. I'm right here. Yeah, what?
I'm witnessing as a male. I'm witnessing as a male, like, I fucking have, like, yeah, and we are more attractive than fucking liberal men and Democrat men, because we actually are men. You know what I'm saying? The liberals and men are a bunch of bitches, and you don't know if they're fucking tranny now or not. But that's what I'm saying, though. Now it's dope as fuck. Like, we are actually more appealing than fucking, and this is why we need more people like this, like us, because we are the light of, you know what I'm saying, people. Fuck that. Listen, conservative women are 1,000% hotter than liberal women. Period. The Democrats, just like that. So
I'm trying not to laugh. So it's really funny. Like you go on Instagram and you see these little reels, right? Of like a first date, like it's a comedy reel. Then towards the end of the date, like the wig comes off, the makeup comes off, the fake eyelashes, the fake boobs, and everything. And it's a man. Like I feel as though guys out there have a hard time. Like, how do you guys go on there like getting dates? Like, how do you trust an app and someone saying they're female? Pablo, what so let me ask you more about your museum. So it's escobarempire.com. Like what could people expect to see in there? Could they see like paintings? Are there like friendly heirlooms?
Let me put these bags down real quick, and I will tell you right
Give me
now.
some of the Entenmann's. I want the Entenmann's.
Yeah, I'm leaving. Okay, so here's the thing. Um, right. So on right now on the EscobarEmpire.com, you're mostly just gonna see like things that have to do related to my uncle. You're welcome. And you're just gonna basically see things that have to do with my uncle and my cousin right now, because okay, I was moving this fucking thing for my neighbors so they don't have to complain. So I'm getting actually almost home. So the thing is, mostly all you're basically just gonna see they a lot of stuff that has to do with the tours, um, merchandise that they have right now, not clothing or anything like that, but just different things that my uncle, my cousin, have to do. So my stuff, I'm doing this separate because it's like I used to have a partnership with my uncle. That anything that I did, I would have to give him a percentage. So that's why I'm doing it separate.
Okay, Flo. I don't know if the deep state got into his phone. Hello?
It's my own entity. Hello,
There
you
you
hear
are.
me?
Okay. Yeah, I can say
So
so
I'm
you had to
set.
give your uncle a percentage if you do business with him because he's a businessman.
Not now.
Pablo. There you are. Yeah. Okay.
I had to, not now, because now I'm just like I used to have to give him a percentage of everything that I was doing, but now it's like I separated myself. This is why my X account, you can see, is like it's just Escobar Jr. on my logo in the sunglasses, because it's like I want to create like my own brand and separate myself from a family business, and just be my own entrepreneur and businessman. So that's what I'm working on right now, like building my own website. I mean my own clothing line, and then coming out with my music, because as I was saying before, my old music, it was just very aggressive and angry because I was a fat boss man. Now that I look good, I'm just rapping about women and sex, and you know what I mean. And let me tell you something, and of course passion and love and all that shit. But the thing is, um, before okay, conservative rap. That's something that I wanted to touch before. Like, just because I'm a Trump supporter, I'm not going to be doing conservative rap because I think that shit is whack. And
Hmm.
I props I get. You know what I'm saying? I know there's people doing it with good intentions, but but I think that what they're doing is isolating themselves from the masses, and they're not really going to make an impact like they're supposed to. And people are going to always just think they're whack, and they're gonna think that the Trump movement is whack because all we do is do conservative music, and there's not real music that you could actually like bump in the radio or nothing like that. So I think that's an injustice that these people are wasting their talents on making conservative rap, but no one wants to hear that shit. People want to hear music and be entertained by music, and go back to where society was normal, like, you know what I'm saying, where we had, like, you could listen to anybody you wanted to, Tupac, Guns N' Roses and shit like that, without having to say, oh, that's this. Nah, like, but that's where we have to, as like, for example, me, I even though I know there's going to cause conflict between the people that are hanging out with General Flynn, all these artists, Forget a Blow or the Trump Latinos. I don't give a shit, because to me their music is whack. So if that causes strife amongst them, what I'm trying to do is motivate them to leave that type of genre and start doing real fucking music that everybody can listen to, and not just cater to the Trump supporters or just the conservative people, because you got to relate to more people. Because if 90% of the fucking musicians in the Grammy Awards and MTV Awards and all this bullshit are Democrats, Then what about the people that you're trying to cater to to become Trump supporters and conservatives? You know what I'm saying? And they're gonna be like, oh, but 90% of these big time artists are on this side. Who are we going to be left with? Only these four motherfuckers doing conservative rap forever? That's not entertaining. It's not appealing. So we just gotta be ourselves and not change who we are. Our values is what separates us from the garbage. Our values is what separates us from fucking pedophiles and from the fucking degenerates and shit like that. But you don't have to fucking, you know what I'm saying, do everything and you know and have your career. If God gave you talents to do music or shit like that, you don't gotta just fucking do conservative. Fuck that. Just be yourself and use that talent to reach the the big audiences that you're supposed to. And I feel that's what's missing out on people's minds, the maturity level. They're stuck on worshiping Trump like he's a god. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, nah, bro. Why are you going to continue doing that type of music when you already have these fucking when you already have Trump? Trump is the one who's
Hmm.
going out there talking about politics and talking about all this shit. Enough of that. Let Trump be the one who talks all that shit. Our job as musicians, if God gave us that talent, is to entertain. So might as well fucking entertain and make it fun.
Yeah, like Striper and stuff. You have Christian metal. I didn't specifically want to listen to them, when Striper was around because it was Christian heavy metal. Um, Here's a question. Uh, all right. Someone is saying that gangster rap was developed to manipulate people to commit crime in order to fill private prisons owned by big music companies. Do you know anything about this, or do you have any feedback on that?
I don't really go that far as to think that way because I think gangster rap was just a genre that started in the '90s that with NWA, Eazy-E, Dr. Dre, Tupac. Like I listen to Tupac religiously every day. Like that's the only music I listen to. So I honestly think that all of that is just like it takes common sense to listen to music. It's like playing video games, for example. If you're gonna play video games, Grand Theft Auto, and then you go out and do a shootout, I mean, there's something wrong with you. It's not wrong with the video game or the video game creators. There's something wrong with your mind that you're not mature enough, and so you're just looking for an excuse to go do something stupid. But I honestly think that gangster rap and all this thing, music is music, and the people who put labels in it are just trying to separate, something dope and then making it like, something bad in people's minds and shit when it shouldn't be that hard. It's just music. I listen to, what I'm saying. I used to listen to Slipknot and what I'm saying, like Pantera, and that doesn't make Slipknot. I love those dudes. I met them and shit. And you know what's dope about Slipknot? They get on stage and pray before their concerts.
Oh,
And
do they?
nobody knew that shit. You know what I'm saying? Corey Taylor, yeah, Corey, he fucking prays with his people, and it's like if people are like, what? Like, aren't you supposed to be Satanist? No, it's a fucking act. It's a fucking act. At the end of the day, we all have these dudes got children, they got families, they're not devil worshippers. They're not gonna fucking teach your kids to worship Satan. They got values. And this is why a lot of people right now are turning to Trump movement because they realize, look at Amber Rose being up
Yeah, I'm
having that
so happy she did that. Like,
yeah, having that
so
slut
happy.
movement all of a sudden. Now she probably feels ashamed of even promoting that shit because she's like, yo, wait a minute. She even says it in the interview, I'm not brainwashed anymore. We did our research. And look, you got one of the illest dudes in fucking East Coast. I'm living out here in the East Coast. Everybody knows I'm the fucking son of Pablo Escobar and I'm repping Trump. So what does that make Trump, these rappers do? And they realize if we're not fucking repping Trump, we're gonna look whack to Pablo. He's gonna take our gangster stripes away. Damn right, motherfucker. If you're not repping Trump, you're whack right now. And that's the whole thing. If you're repping Biden, you're either a pedophile or you love or you know somebody who's a pedophile. So that's why we gotta continue doing this MAGA movement big time and making it where if you're not a Trump supporter, homie, you're whack. Like I don't even want to be associated with you. Ew, get the fuck away from me. Because your values, by just saying that you vote like Diddy and Jay-Z and all these other fucking people, Obama, Jimmy Kimmel, they just had a fucking like big event
Ew.
yesterday. All these celebrities, those are trash. That's scum of the earth. All those people are scum. So And now the majority are realizing it. These motherfuckers are going to be left out to push to the side without jobs. So that's why many of them are not coming out of the bush. It's like, no, no, fuck that. You know, I'm a Trump supporter too. Like Amber Rose had no choice. She's like, fuck that. Like, if I'm going to continue being on this side, I'm going to lose customers. I want to lose a clientele. Fuck this. And then she realizes also raising a child in that environment of, critical race theory and sexualizing them and cutting your fucking penis off or your tits off. That ain't normal. If you know anything about God, that shit ain't normal. So you're against that shit. Then you know what I'm saying? So I just feel like right now, you more than ever, since the election is coming up,
Mm.
we got we gotta, you know what I'm saying, unify with voices that are out there strongly putting their reputations on the line, and they don't give a fuck supporting Trump because they're willing to fight this demonic agenda that they have to sexualize kids. You know, because there's a lot of fucking dudes, rappers who say they're Trump supporters, like Little Pump, and a whole bunch of people that came out saying they're Trump supporters just to win the MAGA crowd. But what? They ain't talking about stopping child trafficking. They're not talking about nothing that makes sense. They were just trying to use that to make, gain their followers and fuck them. So they're weak and they're fake. So that's one thing about me is that, yo, like I'm saying though, I have there's nothing when this comes to this Trump movement. I drive around with this gigantic flag. I have gotten my tires popped by the fucking feds. I've a whole bunch of shit happened to me because of the fact that I believe in this so much. Because I see how it triggers liberals and Democrats that believe in garbage and all that pedophile shit. So the more the more that I get investigated, the more that they come at me, it's because I'm doing something right. And that's one of the things my father used to say: if I don't have any enemies, that means I'm not doing nothing right. So fuck it. And that's one thing. I don't have fear. Fuck it. If they somebody dares to kill me one day, all they're gonna do is send me back home. My where my spirit belongs. And I want to be with my father in peace. And so it's like fuck it, might as well live in this world as a human being and without fear. And that's how God will bless you when you come at these demons like David and Goliath. When you approach these demons and fight them with no fear, He'll make the impossible happen for you. The things that seem impossible, He'll make them possible just for you. And it'll feel like you're walking on water, and people will look at you like your life is not fair. Like, no, it's not fair that she's living like that. Like, it's so effortlessly. But that's what God promises us. God says that by coming, giving your life to Him, He will make you live. You know what I'm saying? He'll not only set a table or feast in front of your enemies and sit, but He'll also make your life seem effortless in the eyes of your enemies, so they can be like, like jealous and be like, wow, it's so easy. Yeah, it's that easy. God will make you like your life feel like you're walking on water in the eyes of these people, so they can see the grace of God through you.
Yeah, Joe and I had this talk about someone earlier. So JC is saying, look into, I don't know if this is a movie or a book, guys. If anyone could look this up or just tell me. It's called The Secret Meeting That Changed Hip Hop and Destroyed a Generation. I don't know if you ever heard of this before. Okay, it's an interview with Crazy Bone of Bones and Thug Harmony, reading a confession from a meeting attendee. So this looks like it's something interesting. Ken, he's in New Jersey. You met him at one of those shows before a while ago. So yeah, I'm gonna look up this interview. And when you're saying Slipknot, I just think of like Ozfest from like 99 or 2000 and these guys jumping on there. I think a lot of kids, they appeal to a lot of kids because they look like puppets almost, and we all somehow like puppets or something or another. I don't know if you do. I do. I love puppets. Like, it's one of my favorite things. But I don't want to be one. And this is why I really am very proud of Amber Rose and what she said. Now, no, I appreciate you taking the time. I know that you're shopping and like family is super important. And I'm
No, I
always
actually just pulled over. I'm close to my house, so I'm like 10 minutes away from my house, and I was just taking care of something that somebody else needed, so I dropped it off, and I'm gonna go home right now, and yeah, I'm gonna drive home now and shit. But I want to blast music, so I pulled over because I
you
need to drive home blasting Tupac. So especially
want to
now,
blast
Jasmine,
Tupac.
that the East Coast is gonna be 90-degree weather in the next few days. It's gonna be beautiful.
Woo!
If you're in the East Coast, Jasmine, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna have fun.
Yeah, I love it. It's like so cold in California, and I just never understood like why it is like that. It's just like cold and gray and horrible. It's just like it's not a fun time at all. It's just very yucky, to be quite frank with you. It's as yucky as half the people that are my neighbors and stuff like that. But it is what it is. It's time to go, out of just leave completely and just relocate my life back to Europe full time. So that's like the next step. And it's one thing Hungary has, right? They're very strict. Oh, and really quick, when you came to that show, he was watching the promos, Paul, and he came to one of the old XPW shows that I was on. He wanted to ask you real quick what you thought of that whole thing that you saw at the wrestling show, the Mega Maga faction.
I think it was cool. I
I
think
thought
it
it
was.
was cute.
I think it was dope that you represent Trump in the MAGA movement so hardcore. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to even in the wrestling thing, I think you're very skilled and talented and beautiful. So you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, nah. I think you're one of the voices. And I don't think I know you're one of the strongest voices for the MAGA movement. You just need to be more out there because your spirit is beautiful and you know what I'm saying. You speak the truth that a lot of men don't do. So I think you just got to be more out there and speak it without fear, and you'll be even more successful in everything you do.
I appreciate you. You're like the bomb. Bomb. Gonna bomb. I'm not gonna bomb anything. We're not bombing anything at all tonight. Um, or maybe, I don't know. Uh, but yeah, so I appreciate you coming on. And don't forget, everyone, go to escobarempire.com. Pablo, I'll catch up with you tomorrow. Thanks a lot. And everyone stay tuned. Thank you so much, Pablo. God bless.
Have a blessed night.
All right. Bye. Okay, guys. So yeah, that was interesting. I know most of the times we have people, everyone always has cameras on here, which is fun, but it's an exception. Plus it's interesting. I just like having different people on from different walks of life. We have April Hunter coming up soon, Angel Metro, who's a deathmatch wrestler in that whole deathmatch world. Um, Veronica Love or Veronica Avlov, Menage Trois. She was a 90s adult film star. She and I reconnected. She told me this story though, that like she was at a strip club in Dallas and there was some kind of, I guess someone like hit her. I'm like, dude, you need to beat the shit out of them, like 90s style. Seriously. Like we were like the original Mean Girls. You don't just let people like that get away with it. You know what I mean? So I'm hoping that it is over 100 degrees. And the Easter Bunny guy just hopped in here. The Cadbury Easter Bunny guy just hopped in the chat and just pulled out of the chat really quick, but I'm pretty sure he's still watching. Don't forget, if you're enjoying these things, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube, which is Crazy Train Podcast, because I always have other content on here. Tune in every Monday night for a live stream, every Wednesday on iTunes or Spotify or wherever you put, you listen to your podcast. It's Crazy Train with Jasmin St. That's crazy with a K. A Bamba? What's a Bamba? Bomb Obama? Bomb Obama? Bomb Obama. Bomb Obama. Oh my God, I get it. Thanks, Ian. So yeah, no one's gonna bomb Obama. No one's bombing anything. I'm not gonna bomb the White House or anything like that. I just want to let you know. So yes. So Ian, I know that you're all the way in Scotland. I hope you got your stuff. I finally mailed everything out, guys. I'm so sorry. It just took a while. But yeah, so if you guys are in Jersey this weekend or there seems to be a lot of great indie shows going on. There's one called X Brand Wrestling that's at 12 noon on Sunday. Then at 4 p.m., H2O at the H2O Center in New Jersey. I don't know if it's Howell, New Jersey or wherever it's in. Look it up. Support everything that's out there or just the cooler federations, of course. And don't forget, of course, to go on to adamandeve.com, putting the code Crazy Train, that's crazy with a K, and get up to 50% off of a bunch of items and a lot of free stuff as well. The Easter Bunny is not Vince McMahon. No, that is the Easter Bunny does not like to pull dildos out of his ass and shit on people. And I don't think that's what McMahon did. It's assuming. This is what happened with the whole Janelle Grant thing, is that she was using a dildo in his butt and pulled it out while she was blowing him. And that is how I assume he had any type of, or she had any type of, poop on her head or something or whatever she claimed happened. I mean, what kind of person just poops on someone's head, bro? It just doesn't happen like that. Seriously, And with that said, yeah, that's it for the shows this month for me. And then, of course, on the 30th, I will be at Primos in Colorado. Anything I've canceled off of, I will be DMing some of you directly because you know who you are. Beasler, you know exactly what I canceled off of at the end of this month. And you too, Paul. I'll just message you and let you know. But other than that, I think at the end of the day, people got to realize Being unhinged comes with a price. And there are two different degrees of being unhinged. There's being unhinged like what we did tonight, and there's just being unhinged that you show your ass. And nobody wants to do anything really with you because they're scared of you. And also I just think there's also a time and a place where people have to start showing gratitude and, for other people. And when people do things for you, just for the hi King Brian, just for the sake of being nice to you, you appreciate that and you remember that. Seriously. And if you can't remember that, just remember where you were before that person helped you out. And maybe you're better off there. Whether it's in a dumpster, a hospital bed, down on your luck with maybe only 2 cents to eat, or $10 in your bank account. So always, be kind to those that are nice to you. And don't forget who those people are. When you make shitty choices in life with things, those things come back only to bite you in your ass at one point or another. That's all I'm going to say about that before I start to sound unhinged, John Jay, you didn't miss anything. Trust me. This is just one of those general Jasminisms, Is that the deep state messing with my sign? I think the deep state is coming in here. Like, seriously. They're somehow in the computer. And I don't know. I dumped a bunch of Trump stocks the other day and then repurchased them. I don't know why I did that, but I just do things like that now and again. Yeah. So that's it. So just check out EscobarEmpire.com. And I think I'm going to look up this interview. If someone could just drop it back in the chat or if I could find it. It was a radio show interview with Crazy Bone of Bones Thugs and Harmony, reading a confession from a meeting attendee in some meeting regarding the secret meeting that changed hip hop and destroyed the culture. I mean, I don't believe these are necessarily conspiracies because I think there's always some type of truth to things. 5 languages, JC. I think there's always some type of truth to things whenever you hear like, oh, well, there's this meeting trying to fill up the private prisons that were owned by record labels because they probably saw an opportunity that you have kids going out there listening to gangster rap and trying to, do shit. And it's interesting because you talk about someone like Machine Gun Kelly, who I can't stand. He's like a typical problem what's wrong with a lot of these young white rappers, okay? I'll tell you what it is. They get seduced by gangster rap, okay? These are like boring little white kids from the Midwest, like him, who looks like Napoleon Dynamite. And they listen to gangster rap. They listen to stuff that Suge Knight produced. And they want to be that person. He sells these dreams of like cars, mansions, bitches, big butts and all that crap. But then someone like Suge Knight is actually living the nightmares of it, such as health issues, almost being killed, shootouts, and jail time. And I think like when you have these white rappers like Machine Gun Kelly or whatever you want to see him, that's the problem that we have, that they go out thinking this is what it is when it's not. It's like everyone wants to be in so many wannabe bikers want to be in a 1% club, but they don't want to do 1% shit. You want to be a gangster rapper, but not get involved in gangster shit. JC said this is an attempt to sabotage a generation similar to entrapment. Yeah, okay. I buy that. Just like I feel as though we're dumbing down society so much with a lot of these things. Like, everyone can have their own opinions like we all do on the show and we all meet at a happy place, a happy medium. I think that having kids not interact with each other during the pandemic was a way to somehow dumb them down. Because it's tough homeschooling kids, I'm sure. But then you can't have human connection with other people. We're all humans. We want to connect with one another. And now this is why I see a lot of lack in good customer service. For example, John Reed Fitness. There was this kid named Drew at the front. Oh my God, what a piece of shit. Entitlement, And like wouldn't even help me at the drink stand or other people. And all I did was ask him why he didn't want to sell me something that he could actually, I don't know how to do that. No, my God, I don't know how to do that. He said that was like his little penis necklace dangling off his neck. And this is John Reed Fitness, part of the RSG Fitness Group, right? This is what you hire to work your front desk. You know, you can't be condescending. You have to learn how to talk to people. No, you bitchy little hoe or wannabe hoe. You need to learn how to talk to people. Anyway, he got fired from the job, I think. I'm pretty sure. But that's what happens. I feel as though we're in a whole generation where people don't know how to communicate. That's why it's important to value your friendships and connect with people. It doesn't always mean sitting there and doing this and sending cat photos and cat videos to one another. You know, it's more than just that. Life is more than pussy pics and pussy videos. Life is more than just doing this on the computer, you know, and chatting away. This is why there are a lot of people that have what they call social anxiety. It's because you don't meet your friends once a week for coffee and sit down and meet in person. In Europe, people do that, and they don't leave in the middle of coffee to go do something else. They sit down. You sit your asses down and you talk. And that's what people lack today. You know, it just seems like there's a big misconception about things like that. Yeah, I hope it did help while you're in California, because that guy really needs his needs that penis necklace up his ass or down his throat. So plus that's an inappropriate thing to wear at a gym. You know, what if you have someone that's a rape victim that's like traumatized from it? And that's another thing, folks. Like, if you really think you have all these emotional issues going on with that trauma from the past, let's all be adults. Go find someone that takes your insurance, that'll sit down with you and talk to you in person. I don't believe in doing therapy sessions like this with someone. I can't get down with that. I don't, because you don't know who you're talking to. And I sure as fuck would not like talk to someone in their 30s that's a therapist. It's got to be someone way older, because people they just don't get us. We're just so cool. But I don't know. I guess those are the Jasmin takeaways for today. Just because someone's gangster, like they might have had parents that do things. A lot of people romanticize crime and criminals, you know, and then a lot of guys that I know have been locked up in jail always find Jesus at some point. Whether they get as strong as Mr. Escobar himself, I don't know. But I think it's worth visiting the EscobarEmpire.com and checking out the stuff, and then following his music. And, you know, be yourselves, folks, because everyone else is taken. And if there's no room for you in someone's life, you just don't belong there. Go somewhere else. And that's really what it comes down to. It's just regular versus irregular Jasminisms to live by. And, you know, it's true. Everyone experiences trauma at some point, but not all of them are victims. That's right. Because when you go around life with a victim mentality, that is all you will be, is a victim. And people get tired of coddling you. Everyone's got trauma. I have it. You have it. The whole world has it. Deal with it. Deal with it. You don't dump on people. You don't do unhinged, crazy things. You deal with it. And that's the truth. Right, JC? Yeah. And I don't know, that's the way the cookie crumbles. Bruce Almighty. And there's a really good Netflix series right now. I think it's been out for a while, called Unauthorized Living. It's amazing. It's about a drug trafficking family. And the another good one that looks like it's that's very promising is Gangs of Galicia in Spain. So, because they have a lot of drug trafficking in these small coastal towns in Europe. You know, you get this a lot, and also Marseille in France. And it's a lot of people bringing bad stuff over there to these countries. So hopefully, you know, America turns around after this election. Really. I'm done up. I was shooting a wrestling promo for Championship Extreme Wrestling in the UK. And then I have to do one for Bleeding Gums in Scotland without the Scottish accent. So I'll have to talk normal because there's no Loch Ness Monster. Good advice. I'm trying. I try. Beasler knows what's going on. A few people know what's going on. Yeah. But yep. Absolutely. So everyone have a great Monday. Have a great week. See you next week with it's either Angel Metro or April Hunter. But both of them are coming on this month. and more guests and more guests and more guests. And then they tell two guests and they tell two more guests and they tell two more guests. It's funny, right? That's how these things do go. So just keep watching the live streams, watch the restream of the live streams, pass it on to your friends, because that's how these things grow. Good night, Paul. Sweet dreams. I'm off. And don't forget, everyone, while you're out there, stay frosty.